What's up, pod pals? It's your buddy Adam, and you are listening to Podcasting Business School. It's a show where I teach podcasters how to love their podcast like a hobby and to build it like a business. We're doing a podcast audit session here today. Got my pod pal, Lindsay, from the Purpose, Profits, and Pixie Dust podcast. Lindsay, welcome to the show.
Adam, I don't know where my video went. There we go. I'm like, I didn't just pop off. Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
Well, I'm excited to have you. I think that you've got a high energy show. I've been digging in, and I can tell that you're really into your content, and you're very entertaining with the way that you deliver as well. It's edutainment. So we got a great base there. I think we could optimize a little bit on a few things, and I really want to set a goal. So if you and I are sitting down 6 months from today, you're really thrilled with the direction of your show, what would need to happen between now and then for you to feel like that?
You mean results wise? Like, what would I like to see?
Yeah.
I would definitely like to see more downloads. I mean, who doesn't as a podcaster, right? So I would love to be finally hitting consistent 10,000 a month downloads. I've hit it before, but it's not consistent. And even doubling that would be awesome. And then seeing more conversions into sales, because I do have a lot of my own products and services. And I rarely get people tell me that they found me from the podcast. It's usually they found me on social media. Some of them might listen to the podcast, but it's not necessarily the driver that I would love it to be. So that's, I know where I need to improve.
Okay. Yeah. We can definitely look at those two things. Those are two of my very favorite topics to discuss. Now with driving more downloads, one of the first things I like to look at is the organic discoverability side of things, where we look at, okay, the name of the show, the podcast art, the podcast host description, things like that. Like, who are your ideal listeners? What are some words or keywords that you would use to describe them?
Women entrepreneurs, which I know is a very broad topic, very broad niche. A lot of the women that I talk to are women who are starting this as a side hustle and then are growing it to a full-time income to replace their job. They love to travel, so they want more freedom to be able to do that, or to do whatever it is. They want more time, so they want some more of that time back. And they want to make a massive impact on other women. So I'm women helping women is the niche that I usually am in.
Okay. And like within the female entrepreneurship space, is there a subcategory that you feel like is really your wheelhouse? Is it like young female entrepreneurs, stay-at-home mom female entrepreneurs, anything like that we could even niche further down into? And it's not necessary, but I don't know if any of those pop out.
Yeah, I would say women 30 to 40 who are in their first year or two of business. It's not necessarily a show that, if you're brand new, a lot of the topics might be a little bit too specific or over your head. Not always. And I do interview guests, and I think hearing other people share their journeys and how they got started and things like that is helpful for a beginner. But it's more like the late beginner, not early novice level, who is like realizing, okay, I can't do this on my own anymore. I need some actual strategy. Let's go. That sort of woman.
Okay. And then with your offers, are you serving that specific audience? Like, you don't really do how to launch your business type of an offer, but more like how to grow your business type of an offer, or try to kind of next level. Okay.
Yeah. My two main offers are a mastermind. So that would be my high ticket offer. And then I have a monthly membership that's really low ticket. It's $22 a month. And each month is a different training theme. But again, it is for the woman who already has the business established and is looking to scale and up level it in different ways.
Okay. So I think we need to shout that out somewhere in the branding and like the name of the show. Like, really, like, how can we call to those people that are ready to scale up, go to the next level with their business? And it's not how to start a business. Because I think there's a lot. I think that is really very saturated in the online content market, is like helping women entrepreneurs launch their first business. Like, there's a whole lot of that. So I think, I'm kind of in a similar space in the podcasting space. Like, I don't do most of my business isn't like how to start a podcast, and most of my content isn't how to start a podcast. It's kind of like, okay, you've launched and now you're frustrated. How do we go to the
Yeah.
next level with your
Yeah.
growth and monetization strategy? So kind of taking a similar approach with the name, the episode titles, what you're describing in your host, like really talking about that entrepreneur that, okay, you've launched, you've kind of gotten your initial growing pains, and now what? Like, how do we go to the next level? Taking female entrepreneurs and their businesses to the next level after they've launched. Like, I think that type of language, I want that type of a vibe in your art, in the name, if we can. So, is that making sense
Okay.
so far?
Yeah. No, that makes sense for sure.
Because you're right, like you're 100% right. The woman entrepreneur show, a million, like there's a million, and
Yeah.
like we can't
Yep.
be that person. And I really like your personality. Like I really like the image that you have, because you tie a lot of Disney themes into your shows and your content. And you've got like my daughter has the same like mouse ears, like the glittery mouse
Yeah.
ears from Disney World. So like I like that picture because that shows your personality, and that's another way that you're going to stand out. Where people go, I relate to that. Like she looks like we'd be friends, or that she reminds me of my sister or somebody that I work with, or whatever. So like I think that relatability with the image that you've got in there is really, really good. So yeah, I mean, I think if we can get when you look at rebranding or reworking a title, the first word is really important. So if we can make that first word a keyword, that's going to be very beneficial. So right now, the first word is purpose. I don't think, I mean, you think about your ideal listeners going into Apple or Spotify. I don't think somebody's going to put the word purpose in there, like searching. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll put words that they'll put in that search bar are like entrepreneur, entrepreneurship, business, solopreneur, stay-at-home mom, like those types of terms. Profits, maybe. Sales, yes. I think that's like, so just kind of dialing in on that first word and going, okay, my general formula, if we're looking at a name rebrand, is like big keyword tips for X, Y, and Z. So online business growth tips for female entrepreneurs, like something like that would fit that formula. Female entrepreneurs, I want to find some terms that describe that, like post business launch, like going to the next level, up level, scaling, things like that. So whatever kind of makes sense for your brand. But anything catching your eye from that verbiage that I just put out there that seems like, oh, that I like that, I don't like that.
Yeah, no, I've known for a while I need to change the name of my podcast. It's just, and I know you know this because I listened to you speak about changing the title, and you're like, people are just so attached to it because I feel like it is so much a part of like that Disney branding. But then I know that it's holding me back, I'm sure, from people discovering my show. And so I like the women entrepreneur, something along the lines with those words. I just feel like so many of them have been taken. So it's like I need to find almost a word that's unique, but then if it's a word that's unique, then people aren't going to search it, right?
Right. So I've got another strategy that could potentially work here. That this is like totally new. This is totally experimental, but I've got a few people in the works that are going to try this. And I think in the situation that you're in, it could make sense. So here's the idea. I think I've mentioned this once before on a podcast audit, and I don't think that person did it. So you could be the first person.
I can actually be the first person
to actually do this. So we could keep your branding as is: purpose, profits, and pixie dust. Art can be the same. Verbally describing the show, same. But what we would do is go into your podcast host, and we would create like a subtitle. But we would make that subtitle the first part of the title of the show. So we'll flip flop them, like where it's like right now it's so I'm going to read it directly. So right now it's purpose, profits, and pixie dust. And then it's like / grow your business, make money. There's all like the extra words at the end. So what we would
Yeah.
do is take all those extra words at the end and put them first as it's listed. So like we're getting those keywords in closer to the beginning of the title, but you're still verbally. And if people search purpose, profits, and pixie dust, you still pull up. The art still says the thing. I would put the subtitle that we create on the art somewhere. So people, if they do search online business tips for female entrepreneurs, it says it right there on the art.
Yeah.
I kind of like this strategy for you. Then you don't have to do a rebrand.
Yeah, I like that. That feels really good.
It's like a quick and dirty rebrand. I think that's what I'm going to call this thing. The quick and dirty rebrand
quick
technique.
And dirty rebrand.
You just go, but like, where do you host your show? Like Libsyn, Buzzsprout,
podcast.co. Have you ever heard of it?
I've not, but regardless,
like no one ever has. I'm like the first person. I've been on there for like 5 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
I might be there.
If it's working for you and you like it,
I know.
good to go. So basically you'll just go in and go to where you update the title line and just come up with an optimized title extension, put that first, and then list your normal name as is, as the second part. And then I would update the art so that you have
that on there.
I mean, with purpose, profits, and pixie dust, what I would probably do is maybe shrink that up just a little bit, maybe shrink your image of you just a little bit. And then at the bottom, have the new subtitle and kind of put that in like a color or a font that really makes it stand out. So if you put the word female entrepreneurs in there, it's a really important word. I would probably put that in a color that's not anywhere else on the art. So it's like, I want it to attract eyeballs. Yeah. So like, ooh, a lot of personality in this art. Looks cool. Love the Disney theme. Oh, female entrepreneurs. That's a word that I use to describe myself. Oh, wow. This is online business development or online business and scaling tips for female entrepreneurs. Like something like that. Are you doing online business or do you do any brick and mortar consulting or is it mainly just?
It's mostly online. Yeah.
Okay. I really like the word online business.
Yeah, I do too.
Being the first word in the name of the show. I really think that will serve you extremely well. And I like that more than online entrepreneurship. I mean, online, if you do online business scaling strategies for female entrepreneurs, online business development and scaling strategies for female entrepreneurs.
Is that too much, do you think? Okay.
No.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like too.
It can be giant. I've got a giant title extension on my show and I change it all the time too. Like people don't even realize that.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
And people don't even realize it. Like that is actually the cool thing. I'm not rebranding every time I switch the title extension. Nobody pays attention to it.
Right.
So I really like, I really like this strategy for you. So let's maybe
I'll give it a try. I'll be your first person to do it. I'll let you know.
Well, and we're going to follow up here in a couple of days. What I would challenge you to do before then, we kind of bounce some ideas around, but think about that big keyword strategies for more keywords and identifying terms. I think so. Kind of work on that a little bit. All right. Let's put a pin in that. That's our podcast. I think you'll get a lot out of that growth wise because you're putting out good content. One thing that I would, just looking at your feed, one thing I would look at since you're trying to acquire clients from your show, I would consider starting to put the episode numbers somewhere in the title of each episode. I like to do a 3-digit at the beginning. Some people do like parentheses, episode, whatever at the end. Because if you like one of my main strategies that really helps me get listeners and clients when I speak on stage or I speak on someone else's show, I'll name drop episodes and I'll be like, if you want to listen to me talk about this topic for a half an hour, check out episode 402 of Podcasting Business School. And I'm not going the one that talks about whatever, go good luck searching 500 episodes or trying to find that.
Right.
yeah, it just takes forever. Like people, even like link in the show notes. A lot of people don't know what a show note is. But if I go to episode
Mm,
402, if you want me to listen to more, if you want to hear me talk about this more, they can push pause, go to my show, and download episode 402 and be back in like 5 seconds and
okay.
continue listening to the episode.
Yeah.
But when I speak on stages, I don't even use QR codes anymore because the Wi-Fi in these places gets really
Yeah.
unreliable
Right.
at best. And so I'll just put verbally, I tell people at the beginning of my presentation, get your phone out, pull up my show. I'm going to give you a few episodes to download and listen to on your way home. And they
Mm,
just do it. And I see them all taking
yeah, I
pictures
love
or
it.
going on their phone and just download them right there. Good to go. Now I've got 5
That's
episodes
smart.
in their earbuds on their flight home. But it makes it a lot easier just to have that episode
Yeah.
number
I
in there.
number them in the back end, but it never shows them. So that's something I need to figure out tech-wise,
Yeah.
but that's an easy fix for me to
Yep.
do, to go
Yep.
back.
Awesome.
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 Thank you.
So that's just a little bonus. Now, when it comes to listener to client conversion, you're doing solo episodes and
Yep.
interviews, right? So you got a
Yes.
mix. Do you have a pattern going there, like every other, or
I'm
what is that?
doing, I do a show every Monday, so I do 3 a month that is me, and then the 4th one is a guest interview, has tended to be I now until last year, it was a mixture of, like, every other week was a guest every and then a solo for me. I was kinda using it, I think, more as a crutch because I wasn't as confident in my abilities, and I was like, "This is ridiculous. I love talking, I love sharing this stuff. I'm gonna do more solo episodes." So that's been my pattern the past probably about year.
Yeah, I like that. That's 3/4 you featured as the expert on your own show. Love it.
Mhm.
My
Yep.
my general rules, I call it the 2/3 content rule for expert positioning. 2/3 of the content you need to be positioned as the expert. So you are above that. A plus.
Great.
Good job. Good job, Lindsay.
Thanks.
Now, something to consider is the coaching episode, like what we're doing here. Obviously, you're
Mhm.
experiencing this. It's fun. It's easy. Like you sent me a few notes. I get a few ideas, but it's not like an interview where you have to do all this prep. And like I didn't go and like
Right.
read your book before I had to do this. Like it's
Yeah, yeah.
in the moment and it shows you off. And especially in the business space, there's a lot of opportunity here. You will not have a hard time finding people to come and do this. Sometimes if they're in the personal growth or weight loss or therapy space, it's hard to find people to come on and do this because they don't want to talk about like all
Yeah.
the stuff going on that caused their issues.
Right.
But in business, it's like, I need to know how to optimize my website, or I need to create an offer, or I need a lead magnet, or I need to understand email marketing better. People will come on and get free coaching if you're like, hey, you also get to shout out your social media handle or your
Product.
website or
Yeah.
whatever on the show. You're not going to have a problem with this. And I
Right.
like you put so much energy into your show and you got a great personality that comes through in your content. I think it'll really show off nicely of you just thinking on your feet, doing some live coaching consulting and like what we're doing here today. So I would strongly
Okay.
consider that. And maybe you turn one of those solos into a coaching, and that way 2 solos, a
Mm,
coaching and an interview. I like that as kind of a content
yeah.
sampler platter every month. And I'm telling you, these are fun. These are easy. And it really just shows off what you're great at, which is helping people with their online
Yeah.
business. So
I could
any
even make that like
thoughts
a
there?
perk for my membership. Like
Yes.
I
Okay.
pick a membership person to coach for
Yes.
free every month on my podcast. You get extra visibility. I love that.
Yes. Yes. And that is the strategy that I use with my health podcast to grow my health membership. I had a weight loss membership
Mm,
and I had trouble getting listeners to come on and do like a weight
yeah.
loss strategy session, but my members were like, bonus coaching. Heck yes, I'm in. And they would
Yep.
fight over the spots. Like I had to tell people like, you can't sign up for 5 in a row. Like you got to let somebody else
Yeah.
get,
You gotta let
you
someone else do
know. So,
it.
but all I did was, I mean, 15 minutes. Every Friday I released a 15-minute coaching episode, but it was a member, and I would do an intro and an outro with promoting the membership. Hey, this person is a member of the blah
Mm,
blah blah, whatever. If you want to do a free week trial, use the code whatever or 10% off. Use, kind of like a little something special because they
yeah.
listen to the podcast. Um, and you get access to this bonus training or whatever. Like that's it's definitely a perk of the membership. and that filled it up. It was a great promotion for
Yeah.
that membership offer. So I think that's a great place to start. And also it's like a little testimonial built in, like
Right.
spend the majority of the time serving them, but then right at the end go, hey, what's your favorite part about the membership so far? Like, what do you love the most? And they just give you
Yeah.
a little shout out and then you sign off. And I think it's a really effective way to, community build and build a membership. So I like that
Yeah.
a lot for you.
Would you do that in addition to what I'm already doing? So, like you mentioned, you did it like as a Friday episode, or would you do it in place of one of my solo episodes?
That's going to be up to you. But I will tell you this,
Okay.
Lindsay, the more of these types of episodes that you get, the higher your conversion rate from listener to clients will be.
Okay.
And the bigger bolus you have of these types of episodes, I mean, you start to see like, wow, like obviously, when people are just listeners coming on my show, I start building relationships and some people decide to become clients and stuff like that. But just the fact that somebody can find my show on some random Thursday and they binge listen 20 episodes over the weekend, and every other episode they're hearing me coach.
Mm,
So then that's why I see people hit me up on the next Tuesday and they're like, I'm ready to start. And they've just been binge
yeah.
listening over one weekend and they just hear me positioned as that expert over and over and over again with these types of episodes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I would, see what your response is from your members, start recording a few,
Hmm.
see how you like it, see how they like it, maybe put a
Yep.
few out there and kind of see, okay, download
Play around
wise,
with it.
how's this
Hmm.
looking? And then if you get a really good response, especially if you have people starting to sign up, I'll go, okay, bonus episode every week, every other week,
Yep.
15, if you do 15-minute sessions, what I did with my weight loss club, I would block off 1 hour consecutive. They had to show up every, I did 4 in 1 hour, 15 minutes each. They knew the deal. I'm like, hey, we're in and out in 15 minutes. I got the next person
Yep.
coming right up.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay. I got it, boss. I got it. I'm not going to
Hmm.
get chatty. And I would knock out 4 of them. Good to go for the next 4 weeks. And those were my Friday episodes. So one
Okay.
extra hour of recording, and I had
Right.
those bonus episodes. But I mean, I can't endorse this method enough for the listener to client conversion, just because
Yeah.
it's like you get a certain amount of expert positioning with solo episodes, but it's even greater with a case study or a coaching style episode, because people
Hmm.
actually hear you coaching and you're now positioned in their mind, and when they're ready to invest, you're the person.
I think. Yep.
So,
Yep. No, I love it. I love it. Makes sense.
cool. And when you're dealing with members, like you've been through my whole process now, where I send out a lot of reminders, and I had to send like the, hey, don't no show me email on Thursday. Like
Yes.
that happens.
Oh,
And
I know. It's so annoying.
and you're not going to have to deal with that for the most part with members that are already paying you and already involved.
Yep.
Like they respect you at a different level. Not that my
Hmm.
regular listeners that come on don't do that, but everyone, it can
Right.
be a little bit less reliable sometimes.
Yep.
So that's another bonus. You don't have to be as hardcore with like the onboarding and all that stuff, where you're like, you must show up, or 10,000 years of bad podcast downloads, so she'll be thrown up on you. So yeah,
That's what
I
I
think,
should put. That's what I should put on my normal podcast guest
yeah.
link.
Oh, I
Maybe
actually
that would
put stuff
save
like
that.
that. Like I put
Do
that
you?
stuff when I'm doing live
I love
streaming.
it.
I'll be like,
Hmm.
and people know that I joke around a lot in my brand, so that kind of goes. But I'm like,
Hmm.
if you no show me for your Instagram live stream that you're signing up for, you'll be cursed with 10,000 years of bad podcast downloads. So let's
That's
just not.
perfect for my brand with the Disney stuff. I'll like throw in some like evil
Yes,
stepmom energy or
yes,
something. I'm totally changing my
exactly.
Calendly link right after this
Yes,
call.
that's the main takeaway of this episode. We're
Yes, right
gonna
there.
get funny in our Calendly links. No,
Yeah.
but I think with these couple of strategies, with the quick and dirty rebrand, which we have officially named it that now,
Yep.
we've got that technique, and then just looking at the coaching style episodes with your members, low hanging fruit. This stuff works. Like these are 2 things that
Yeah.
I know work, and um, anytime, especially with the coaching style episodes, anytime you can get your ideal listener represented on the show and people can hear, the questions that your members have are still going to be really representative of your ideal listeners that are out there. And
Right.
they're like, oh, wow, I'm dealing with this issue too. Like email marketing. Oh my God, so stressed about it. Funnel building, website, SEO, or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
all those things, like everything we've talked about, I guarantee the majority of people listening in are like, yes, this is what I'm struggling
Yep.
with too. I need to, and even if you talk about similar things, which I do on these episodes, it's always a different angle. It's a different perspective. It's a different type of show, a different type of brand, business, different experience levels, and it hits different. And
Yeah.
it works.
Yep.
So
No, I totally understand.
we're on the
Well,
right
and it's
track.
easy, like you said, it's the low hanging fruit. So like, why not give it a try? It's the stuff
Yep.
that I can do this week. So
Yep.
I love it.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. I want you to take a minute to shout out your brand, your website, where people can go and connect with you for all things with your entire business.
Yeah. So my podcast is the Purpose, Profits, and Pixie Dust podcast. And then I'm Lindsay Dollinger, all the places. So lindsaydollinger.com. And then Instagram, I have my Lindsay Dollinger Instagram. And then I also have a Purpose, Profits, and Pixie Dust Instagram. But yeah, I'd love to connect with you on any of the socials. So you can find me, follow me, and we'll chat.
All right, Lindsay, I appreciate you for coming on. If anybody out there would like to do a podcast audit, just like Lindsay, head on over to my website, www.podcastingbusiness.school, and hit the freebie button, and you can sign up for a podcast audit. Hop on my end of summer, beginning of fall calendar, and we'll get you on the show. So I'm super excited to see what Lindsay does with these 2 tips. I'm sure that we can follow her and support her and watch the journey happening there. She does the coaching style episodes and all that good stuff. So everybody out there, appreciate you for supporting the show. I'm going to send you out into the world wishing you health, happiness, and many downloads. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Adam.